Greetings, Evil Boy Genius here. Two things today, my usual rant and an announcement. Let's get the rant out of the way first. I was commenting on someone's thread yesterday. So she's a copywriter and she's a smart lass, it seems. And we got into the discussion about portfolios and samples, which is something a lot of creatives, especially copywriters and graphic designers and probably website designers too, get asked for. You know, send us a sample of your copy, send us a portfolio. I don't know, I'm not so sure about websites maybe, but certainly with graphic design and copywriting in particular, I think it's a bad idea, because if you are writing sales copy, I mean, content copies are perhaps a little bit different, but certainly if you're writing sales copy, the chances are your potential client has no clue how to write sales copy, him or herself, because if he or she did, she'd be fucking writing it and not paying you to. So there's no point in sending them a portfolio or samples, because they're not qualified to have an opinion about it. They might say, oh, I don't like it. Well, that's fucking irrelevant. Whether you like the copy I write for you or not is not the point. The point is, will it actually make you sales? And I used to make it very clear when people ask me for samples, I would say no, and here's why, because you ain't qualified to judge it. And then I would say further, if I write copy for you, you run it as I write it. If you change so much as a comma, we're done. And the reason for that is you ain't qualified to have an opinion about it. Okay? If you were, you'd be writing it yourself. Because what happens is, if you allow people to have an opinion about your creative work like that, when it's functional as well, and you change it, what happens is you change it, or they change it in their uninformed way, and it doesn't get the results they wanted. And then you are the one who gets the blame for it. It's that fucked up. And I never used to play that game. I mean, I maybe played it very early on and I thought, this is a waste of time, and that's why it's a waste of time. The other thing is, your positioning in the relationship with your client is very poor, very weak, because you are now the hired help as opposed to the trusted advisor. And not only does that make for a more strained and more difficult relationship, because you're slightly one down in the pecking order from them, and you're doing as you're told, and you're being run ragged often. And the more you comply, the more you are submissive, if you like, the more you supplicate yourself, the worse their behaviour becomes, until you get completely sick and tired of it, and you end up complaining about the clients. Well, it's your fault, you allowed it to happen. But if you stay slightly one up in the pecking order by having this positioning of I am the trusted advisor, we do things my way or not at all, it makes things much cleaner, much easier to deal with. You have a much freer reign to do your job. You get better results, which means that you have happy clients anyway. And also, you can charge more. It directly and immediately affects your pricing. Hired help is like the cleaner of your house. And I'm not disrespecting anyone here, but you don't pay a house cleaner a premium rate like you would say a fucking brain surgeon, do you? You don't, because it's not that kind of job. Hired help, they are downtrodden, everyone mocks them, and they are poorly paid. Trusted advisor writes his or her own ticket and commands higher fees and has a better life because they're doing their own thing. It really is that simple. And you need to make these things very plain from the outset. It's about positioning. I mean, I can and do wax lyrical about positioning all day fucking long. So, okay, if you're not a copywriter, it's still the principles are still valid. It doesn't really matter what business you're in. The same principle applies. Electrician, plumber, car mechanic, house painter, anyone selling B2B to solve a problem, or even B2C to solve a problem, you are the expert on solving that problem, or you should be. Okay, if you're selling a fucking hammer to hit a nail because that's all you know, then that's a little bit different and you shouldn't be doing it. But if you have integrity and you're selling ethically and morally, and you can solve their problem, it is morally correct for you to take a hard line about this, because you are there to solve their problems. And if they don't do as they're told, if they don't comply, they're not compliant, and they won't solve the problems. It's like going to the doctor. Only a complete cretin would go to the doctor and then say, I feel your diagnosis is not quite right. In my opinion, I should be given a different drug. Absent any objective reasons for any of that, if you argue with your doctor because you just don't like their diagnosis, you're a fucking idiot. Well, it's no different in any other sphere where you want someone's expertise. All right? So whatever business you're in, bear that in mind. Now, the announcement. I've actually finished the website. Finally. So, if you want my help to talk to me about how we can help your business grow, no obligation, etc., rather than PMing me below, you can hit the link below and see our funky new website and do whatever it is you like to do on that. All right? So, hit the website. I'll see you on the inside. Ta-da.